Hey yo, welcome back to the Drunk Monk's Kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make the world's best coleslaw. Alright? I'm serious when I say the world's best coleslaw. If you think I sound arrogant by saying that, or I'm coming off cocky, yeah, that's the whole point. Yeah, I do have the world's best coleslaw recipe, and I'm unapologetic about it. All right, I worked hard to narrow down this coleslaw recipe because, see, the problem is that so many people make bad coleslaw that by the time I get around to actually explaining to somebody how to make coleslaw, or even if I serve it to them, when they look at it, the first thing they think is, well, where's the carrots? Where's the radishes? Where's the red cabbage? Where's the, the garlic? Where's the raisins? Where's the mustard? And it's like, oh, you've been eating it ass backwards and upside down for so long that you don't even understand that coleslaw does not need all of that nonsense. It just gets in the way of the key ingredients you need to bring out the best flavor of it, the original recipe. You understand what I'm saying? So before I can even show you like how to make it or whatever, I have to explain the ingredients, because if you don't understand the importance of the ingredients, then you're not going to understand why it's the world's best coleslaw. All right, so let me start off with the main most important thing about making the world's best mayo. All right, you have to use a high quality mayo. All right, and the most high quality mayo that you can get off the shelf, other than just grabbing everything and whipping up your own, is Hellmann's. All right, Hellmann's. Yeah, real mayonnaise. Okay, this is not just a slogan for them to sell this product. This is the closest thing to real mayo. All right, so, if you think coleslaw involves Miracle Whip or Duke's Mayo or, just the knockoff brand, no. That's where your coleslaw goes downhill. That's where the plane goes, boom, you're done. That's when your coleslaw sucks. You gotta, if you're not willing to make your own mayo, use Hellmann's mayo, okay? The only thing separating this from homemade mayo is that this has a preservative in it to give it a longer shelf life. Other than that, though, it's the closest thing. So you have to use Hellmann's. I can't stress this enough, okay? Trust me on this. Now, second of all, a lot of people like to use white vinegar. And this is what drives me bananas, man. Like, when you look up recipes online, this is something that a lot of people say to use. I mean, even the Food Network, with like the world-class chefs and Chopped and all that shit, you want to know what they use? White vinegar. It's an insult to the original recipe. And I'm sorry for cussing, but I'm passionate about making really good coleslaw, man. If you want to make really good coleslaw, you have to use apple cider vinegar. You know what I'm saying? You get that vinegar flavor, right, to where it's tart, but then it still has a hint of that sweetness to it, that natural sweetness, okay? Apple cider vinegar has a distinct flavor that white vinegar just cannot touch, okay? It is very important to use apple cider vinegar when you make your coleslaw, right? Another thing that's important is that, obviously you need some cabbage, all right? Originally, this was a head of cabbage, but I already made some earlier in the week. I think it was over the weekend, and I still have some left. So, for a typical servings worth that I use to make, I use about half a head of cabbage. Half a head will serve about 6 to 7 servings. If you use the whole head, wow, you're definitely gonna have leftovers. But for this recipe, I'm just going to be using, this is about a little bit less than half a head. This is about probably a little bit more than a quarter. But yeah, this would be enough to where it'll serve, probably 4 people. And you'll be good to go. But here's the thing. People think that when you make coleslaw, you just chop it up with a knife and everything is good, right? No. You need one of these, man. Yes, you need a grater, and you want to use the side. You know how this side, you would typically use this for making like shredded cheese. This is the side that you want to use with the with the cabbage, so that way it's finely chopped into smaller pieces. See, when you try to chop it by hand, or to where it's you have long pieces and crazy pieces in there, the problem is that these pieces don't properly absorb all the other ingredients that are in the coleslaw. So what tends to happen is that as you're trying to eat the coleslaw, you have the flavor of the other ingredients on the outside, but you taste more of the cabbage. So it ruins the idea of the coleslaw. You want the flavors to go into the cabbage. You want it to soak it up. The cabbage, if it's in larger pieces or bigger chunks, it doesn't really soak up the flavor. So this is why you need to have it finely chopped with a grater. I mean, you could use a food processor, but why go through all that trouble and mess? Just use a grater and the cabbage and you'll be good to go. And finally, I mean, regular everyday table sugar. Yeah, just regular white sugar. You know, you don't need a lot of this. You just put enough in there to where it brings out the sweetness, brings the flavor out, and you know what I'm saying, you're good to go. Now, there is one other ingredient that I use, which is Vidalia sweet onion. And you don't have to use the Vidalia sweet onion, but me personally, I prefer a hint of that onion flavor, because I come from the vein of, like, one of my first the coleslaw that I actually like over everybody else's is KFC coleslaw. Okay, KFC makes some slamming coleslaw. It's still not as good as mine, but that's what inspired me to find the world's best coleslaw, which I'm teaching you today. You know what I mean? So in order to pay homage to that, or homage, is by using a little bit of onion to it. You don't have to use it, but that's what I use in my recipe. So, do you understand why I'm using the ingredients that I'm using? I hope so, because this is how you make the world's best coleslaw. So, give me a second. I got to rearrange everything, and then I'll start making it and show you how to do it. All right? Give me a second. All right, so now I'm going to take the, let's grate this cabbage into smaller pieces. Now, if you have a big piece like on the outer layer like this, I mean, I'm not saying you got to discard it, but it's going to be harder to put it through the grater. You can just put it off to the side. But the main part that's still thick and still connected or whatever, this is what we're going to use to break it down into smaller pieces. So you just rub it along. And it's going to get kind of messy, but what falls into the bowl will be finely chopped pieces. Sorry, this is going to take some time to do. Alright, so once it's all chopped up, you should have this. You know what I mean? Chopped up cabbage. Now there are some bigger pieces like this. These bigger pieces, you want to take them out and you need to throw them away or just toss them off to the side if you're going to use it for another recipe. But yeah, you want it to be finely chopped to that size. See, I found another big piece. Take those out and just leave the finely chopped pieces. Now, like I said, I'm gonna add a little bit of sweet onion to mine. You don't have to, but I'm gonna add some of that just to add a little bit of onion flavor. So give me a second. You know what sucks? I thought I had some sweet onion and I don't, so I'm gonna have to substitute it for a yellow onion. It's close enough. I mean, it's not gonna kill the recipe. But man, I feel like, the hell, I guess I should have checked that before doing the video, right? Jeez. But anyway, let me cut this up and get this ready for grating. You wanna cut off the little bit of the top, little bit of the bottom, cut off the edge, peel the outer layer and the skin to get that out of the way, to where you just have this like that. And then we're gonna do the same thing, same side of the cheese grater, and grate this into little pieces. And you don't need a lot of this. It's just a little bit. I mean, honestly, in terms of the onion, I would say you need about 3 tablespoons of diced onion. That's it. You don't need a lot of it because you don't want to overpower the rest of the ingredients that go into it. Now, since we have everything mixed up, you want to get a fork and you want to start stirring around the onion and the coleslaw. We're just mixing it around. Crap, I'm finding more of the bigger pieces. Take that out. Take that one out. Take that one out. Mix this around. And then what we want to do is we want to start with the vinegar first. And with the vinegar, you want to use a tablespoon to measure. If you can eyeball it, fine, but me, I like to measure in for this serving about 3 tablespoons of vinegar. All right, so we add that in, and then with the mayo, I can eyeball this. You need about 3 tablespoons of mayo. And then you're gonna need about 1/4 cup of sugar. If you happen to be diabetic or whatever the case, you can use stevia or whatever, but if to be authentic to the recipe, use granulated sugar, and you want to use about 1/4 cup. All right, so once that's in there, we just mix it around. Mix it around. And with this, mix it around. Make sure you get every little piece. There's no clumps of mayo. Make sure the vinegar is in there really well. Just mix it all around. All right, let's taste test this bad boy. Let's see. Here we go. Yep. This is it. The world's best coleslaw. You know what I'm saying? Now, you don't want to serve it just like this. What you want to do is put it off into the fridge for about 3 or 4 hours covered, so that way it lets the ingredients really soak in there. And then you serve it, and people be like, man, you make the world's best coleslaw. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you don't like this as tart as mine, you can use 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. But other than that, though, yeah. Drunk Monk, signing out. Peace.